This is the story of how I exposed a secret cloning program to the world and how I survived when they tried to replace me. Stay till the end, you won't believe what happened next. At 5:11 a.m., Ava Morgan's phone vibrated violently on the edge of her nightstand, rattling against the wood loud enough to tear her from the shallowest, most broken sleep she'd had in weeks. She blinked into the dark room, disoriented. The curtains were still drawn, the world outside still ink black. Her heart drummed unevenly in her chest as she reached for the glowing screen. Lucas calling. Ava's stomach tightened. She hadn't seen that name on her phone in 4 years. She hesitated, pulse climbing. Lucas, her older brother, her once best friend, had vanished from her life without warning. No explanations. No closure. Just disappeared. She'd cried for months, believing he abandoned her without reason. Now he was calling before sunrise. She pressed accept, hands trembling slightly. Before she could speak, a breathless whisper exploded through the speaker. Ava! Ava, listen to me. Do not say my name. Do not ask questions. Just do exactly what I say. A chill wrapped around her spine. Lucas! Where are you? What's going on? Ava, please. There's no time. His voice cracked, raw with panic. Destroy your passport. Leave your house now. Don't pack anything. Don't turn on lights. Don't call anyone. Ava sat up abruptly, sheets twisting around her legs. What are you talking about? Are you in trouble? Lucas, slow down. No. They're coming for you. His whisper sharpened to a blade. You have maybe 10 minutes. Do you hear me? 10. Leave through the back. Do not take your car. Do not let them see you. Her mind spun. Who? Who is coming? I don't understand. There was a rough rustling on the other end, footsteps, heavy breathing, the sound of doors slamming somewhere far behind him. Then Lucas spoke again, voice breaking. Ava, they already replaced you. Her entire body froze. What do you mean replaced me? She whispered, shaken. Lucas, this isn't funny. If this is some kind of... This is not a joke. He nearly shouted, then lowered his voice instantly, terrified. The version living with Daniel right now isn't you. She's already in your place. You need to get out now. Ava's mouth went dry. Daniel. Her husband. As if summoned by name, she heard footsteps upstairs, slow, steady, moving from the bedroom to the hallway. Too early for him to be awake. Her voice thinned. Lucas, how do you know that? A pause, long, broken, full of things unsaid. Then. Because I worked on the project that created her. Ava swallowed, throat closing. Heat roared through her body as if she were burning from the inside out. Lucas, this is insane. I'm coming to get you. Just tell me where you... Suddenly the call cut out. Silence. No static. No connection tone. Just dead air. Ava stared at the blank screen. No signal. Network error. Her bedroom lamp flickered once. Then the power cut completely, plunging the room into darkness. Her breath shattered in her chest. Outside, through the narrow sliver where the curtains parted, she saw headlights, 3 black SUVs rolling slowly down the street, unmarked, moving in silence. A red targeting laser swept across nearby windows. Her phone vibrated again, one last message delivered before signal died. Run. Right now. Ava's heart jumped hard enough to hurt. She tore off the bedsheets and rushed into the closet, grabbing a hoodie, her running shoes, and a small crossbody bag. She dropped to her knees and pulled up a loose floorboard, her emergency stash spot she hadn't opened in months. Inside, a small bundle of cash, a backup phone, a USB drive she'd forgotten existed, and a folded note in Lucas's handwriting. If something happens, trust no one. Not even Daniel. Her hands shook. The headlights outside stopped. Car doors opened, multiple, soft and synchronized like trained choreography. Ava shoved the items into her bag and slipped silently out the back door barefoot, cold wet grass shocking her feet. She crouched low and She's sprinted already living toward in your house. Sleeping in your room. Wearing your clothes. Daniel is working with them. He helped authorize your replacement. You were flagged when you started asking questions about that missing university research funding. Ava stepped back as if hit. That's why he changed. Why he stopped letting me access anything. Why he called me paranoid. Lucas nodded. He was discrediting you to make the switch believable. Ava's voice cracked. So they made a duplicate to replace me and, what? Kill me quietly? Lucas's voice broke completely. Yes. Ava felt the world tilt beneath her feet. So why didn't you warn me earlier? Why disappear? Why leave me alone? Lucas closed his eyes, tears forming. Because I helped build the technology. And when I realized what they were using it for, it was too late. They came after me next. I ran. I've been hiding ever since. Ava stared at him, betrayal burning through her. You worked with them. You knew. I know. His voice trembled. And I've been trying to fix it ever since. Ava, you weren't supposed to find out. You were supposed to vanish quietly. But I saw your name on the termination list 3 days ago. I couldn't let that happen. Ava turned away, pressing both hands against her face, breath shaking violently. So what now? I run forever. They replace me and bury the truth. Lucas reached into his bag and pulled out a small metal drive, placing it gently into her hands. This contains proof. Every document. Every voice recording. Every digital signature. Enough to expose the entire Echo protocol. But we need someone powerful enough to release it publicly. Who? Lucas took a breath. Noah Blake. Investigative journalist. The only person who hasn't been bought or threatened into silence. If we can get this to him alive, we can stop everything. Ava tightened her grip around the cold metal. And Daniel, she whispered, voice shaking between grief and rage. Lucas's expression hardened. He chose his side. The abandoned subway tunnel shuddered with distant vibrations, boots striking concrete, radio static echoing faintly through metallic pipes above. Lucas motioned for Ava to follow, urgency carved into every strained line of his face. They slipped through a narrow service door and climbed a rusted ladder that opened into the back of an abandoned train depot. Rows of derelict locomotives stood like steel skeletons under flickering industrial lights. Ava pulled her hood low, heart pounding painfully. What if we're already too late? She whispered. Lucas shook his head. We're alive, and we have the evidence. That means we still have a chance. They crossed the depot and reached a heavy metal door. Lucas entered a code into a concealed keypad, and the lock clicked open. Inside, surrounded by humming computer screens and cables snaking across the floor, sat a young woman with short black hair and a calm, calculating stare. Riley Quinn. She looked up from a glowing console. You brought her, she said quietly. Good. We're running out of time. She gestured Ava inside and locked the door. Riley connected the USB drive to her system, screens filling with encrypted files, government stamps, bioneural blueprints, and dossiers labeled Echo Protocol Level 7. Ava watched page after page flash across the monitor's strategic replacement charts, psychological profiling PDFs, footage of subjects sedated and scanned. And then she saw her own face staring back at her from a medical file window. Height. Weight. Scanned neural maps. Memory upload reports. Subject, A. Morgan status, disposal scheduled. Ava's breath fractured in her chest. Lucas put a gentle hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry. Riley began transferring files to a secure server. If we push this through encrypted channels to Noah Blake's system, the whole world will see it, she said. But Ava must deliver it in person for verification. He won't publish without a live witness. Ava nodded. Where is he? Riley typed quickly. He's waiting in a safe location. If we can reach him tonight, we're clear. Before she could finish, a deafening blast rocked the building, dust raining down, metal shrieking. Riley's eyes widened. They found us. Red emergency lights strobed harshly. Sirens wailed through the old depot. Ava's heart thundered as Lucas grabbed her hand. Move. Back exit. They sprinted toward the emergency stairwell, footsteps pounding behind them shouted orders, boots slamming steel. They burst out into the alley behind the depot, cold wind slashing across their faces. But they weren't alone. Waiting under the streetlight, calm and collected, stood Daniel. Her husband. He looked almost gentle, hands casually in his coat pockets, head tilted as if amused by a private joke. "Ava," he said softly, smiling. "There you are." Ava froze, breath hitching like a caught thread. Lucas stepped protectively in front of her. Daniel sighed dramatically. "I'm disappointed. You could have made this easy." He snapped his fingers. From behind him stepped Ava. Another Ava. Perfect identical features. Same hair. Same eyes. Same posture. Same voice when she spoke, it was her voice perfectly duplicated. The clone smiled softly, with unsettling calm. "Ava, you deserve rest. You've suffered enough. Let me take your place. I can do everything better. They built me to fix your mistakes." Ava's pulse crashed in her ears. "Lucas," she whispered, "tell me you're seeing this." Lucas nodded slowly, horror carved into his features. Daniel stepped closer, voice dripping with false warmth. "You're unstable. You're confused. You need help. We're here to take you home, okay?" Ava stared into Daniel's eyes and saw no love, only calculation. Years of doubt snapped into clarity. "He never loved me. He studied me." The clone reached out her hand gently, like offering comfort. "Ava, I understand you. I'm you. We're the same." Ava's voice became ice. "No. You're a puppet." A sudden rush of black-suited agents spilled into the alley, weapons raised. Lucas grabbed Ava's arm. "Run." She turned. But Daniel shouted sharply. "Stop her. Alive if possible." Agents closed in. Riley, appearing from the rear fire escape, hurled a smoke canister into the alley. Thick gray clouds swallowed everything. People choked, yelled, stumbled. Lucas dragged Ava blindly through the haze. Gunfire cracked against metal. They fled into the maze of alleys, lungs burning, vision blurred, sirens screaming behind them. When they finally collapsed beneath a highway bridge, gasping for breath, Ava felt her hands shaking uncontrollably, not from fear, but fury. "They made a version of me that everyone will believe," she whispered. "They'll say I'm unstable. They'll say I vanished. They'll erase me." Lucas wiped blood from his lip and looked at her with broken determination. "No. Not if the world sees what they've done. Noah can expose everything. We need to reach him before sunrise." Ava stared out into the darkness, rain beginning to fall, neon lights reflecting off wet pavement like splintered glass. She closed her eyes. No more running. No more hiding. No more silence. "This ends tonight," she said. And when she opened her eyes again, they burned with fire. Rain hammered against the cracked asphalt as Ava and Lucas ran beneath the overpass, water splashing around their feet. The city skyline flickered ahead, neon signs cutting through the storm like fractured light. Sirens wailed somewhere behind them, closing in. Riley, soaked and shaking, appeared under the bridge, clutching a small encrypted transmitter against her chest. "I rerouted the tracking signal," she gasped. "It'll give us maybe 20 minutes before they find us again." Ava nodded, gripping the drive tightly. "Where's Noah?" Riley pointed toward a dimly lit parking garage across the street. "Top level. He's waiting with a mobile broadcast rig. This is our only window." Lucas checked the alley behind them, shadows shifting, silhouettes moving. "We go now," he said. "No second chances." They sprinted through the rain, cold air slicing like knives. The garage entrance loomed ahead, concrete echoing with the distant hum of generators. On the top floor, under the faint glow of fluorescent lights, stood Noah Blake, holding a compact satellite livestream unit, camera ready, expression sharp with focus. His vehicle engine idled nearby, ready for immediate escape. He studied Ava with a grave nod. "You're Ava Morgan," he said quietly. "The real one." Ava swallowed hard. "Please. If the world doesn't hear this, I disappear forever. Help me." Noah glanced at the approaching storm behind her and then at the USB drive in her hand. "Then start talking," he said. "We go live in 5 seconds." He hit a button. A red light blinked on the camera. Live broadcast global network link opened. Noah spoke into a microphone, voice steady and resonant. This is Noah Blake reporting live with classified evidence revealing an illegal government operation known as Echo Protocol involving human replacement and neural cloning. He stepped aside, and Ava faced the camera. Her voice trembled at first, but then grew. My name is Ava Morgan. I was targeted for elimination and replaced by a synthetic copy of myself. They stole my identity, my life, and my voice. But I am here alive and I am done being silent. Images and documents from the drive appeared on screen. Blueprint subject logs replacement rosters Ava's execution order. Millions of viewers watched in real time across the world. Phones buzzed. Social media exploded. Comment streams flooded in. And then, gunfire erupted below. Agents swarmed the garage, boots pounding up the ramp. Lucas shoved Ava behind a concrete pillar. Stay down. Daniel's voice echoed through the storm, amplified by rage. Ava, stop this now. You're ruining everything. He appeared at the top of the ramp, face twisted, soaked with rain, shouting like a cornered animal. Behind him stepped Clone Ava, eerily calm despite the chaos. Clone Ava looked at the real Ava and whispered, almost pleading. I was made to replace you. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Sparks flickered across her temples, a glitch in her neural system. Rain interacted with the internal circuitry beneath her skin, sending small bursts of static crackling through her body. Daniel lunged toward Ava, screaming, You don't deserve your own life. You were nothing. Before he could finish, Clone Ava stepped between them, blocking him. No, Clone Ava whispered. You don't deserve her. Static burst violently through her system circuitry, igniting. With one final surge of strength, she slammed Daniel backward into a parked truck. Officers stormed the roof. Agent Miller, soaked and trembling with fury, raised his weapon at Ava. You weren't supposed to survive. Noah turned the camera toward him. Say that again, he said steadily. The world is listening. Miller froze, realizing too late that everything was broadcast live, millions watching. Police sirens wailed closer, real police this time, not covert agents. Squad cars surrounded the building. Officers rushed up the ramp. Within seconds, Agent Miller and Daniel were tackled, arrested, handcuffed. Riley uploaded the last files. Lucas collapsed with relief. And the broadcast ended on one final message from Ava. They tried to replace me. But I reclaimed my name. Sunlight poured gently through the windows of a quiet lakeside cabin. Birds sang. Water shimmered. Ava sat outside with a cup of warm tea, peace settling over her like a blanket. Lucas approached from behind, bandages removed, strength returning. How are you holding up? Ava smiled softly. I'm learning to breathe again. The world had changed. Echo Protocol dismantled Dr. Evelyn Hart and Agent Miller sentenced Daniel, facing lifelong imprisonment, whistleblower protection laws expanding globally. Ava now worked with survivor advocacy organizations, helping others reclaim their lives. On the table beside her sat a small leather notebook, the one she once used to record fear. Now it held her future. She closed it gently. No more running, she whispered. No more silence. A golden sunrise washed the sky. And for the first time in a long time, Ava felt free.